Okay, so this video has been a long time coming. A little over a month ago, I got canceled from the anti-woke side, right? Canceled or cancel attempt. You know, it is what it is. I lost a lot of followers here on YouTube and on X because I said I do not want perversion in video games. And that includes that of the straight variety, right?
Melanie Mack made this very interesting video, which I'm going to be dissecting soon, that talks about something called Goonergate, which is basically just this, made-up controversy that Melanie essentially created for attention, and now she's getting a lot of attention, but not really the attention she was hoping to get. And you can see in this video that she's not well. You know, she's shaking, she's, very stressed out. Her speech is, very alterated, and you can also tell that she's almost on the verge of tears at several points. Now, I'm going to be dissecting that video in full later on, but there's just a few things I want to address. So first off, in that clip I showed at the beginning, she's claiming she was canceled, and you might be wondering, whoa, Melanie Mack was canceled? What happened? She also says that she was being canceled by the anti-woke crowd. So did these anti-woke people cancel her bank accounts? Well, you can still join her channel as a member if you want, so it looks like her bank account's still up. Did they call up her employer and get her fired from her job? Well, as it turns out, she's self-employed. Has she been deplatformed from Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram? Oh no, she hasn't. She's up on all of those places. So has Melanie Mack been canceled? She thinks so, but that's just because she's been losing a lot of followers. And why has she been losing a lot of followers? That all stems from a controversy over here called Goonergate. In short, there was a Twitter account called Pirate Nation which showed a clip from a video game called Ascendant 1. In it, there was a character named Luna who was wearing a one-piece swimsuit that was a little cheeky, if you know what I mean, and she was doing a seductive dance. Now, this wasn't a necessary feature that everybody had to play. This was an optional thing that you could get if you buy a certain clothing item for that character Luna. So Melanie saw this video and she immediately responded like this.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children? What kind of an example are we setting?
Now, I don't really care that Melanie Mack was against this game. I think that's just the average response that we would expect from middle-aged and older women like Melanie Mack, who are, already over the hill, as they say. Just think, what would my mom or grandma say if they saw this scene from this game? Now, when Melanie Mack saw this tweet by Pirate Nation, who, showed the clip of the game, and then he said, "Is this what gamers want?" Melanie Mack responded, "Not me. I like attractive characters, but I don't want to play something with naked butts, boobs, or bulges up in my face. I'd feel like a total loser playing something like that." Again, this is the response you'd expect from a middle-aged woman, so, no surprise that this is how she feels.
Do you have anything you want to say to women for having owned this offensive magazine?
I'm sorry, women.
Now, as she continues here in this tweet, she said, "I'm a Christian. I oppose making female characters look ugly or masculine or changing their body types. I don't advocate for weird Gooner games, though." So I think this is where the whole problem starts. She's calling this a Gooner game because there's an optional costume that one of your characters can wear that is seductive. But she said she hasn't advocated for Gooner games, but by her definition of what a Gooner game is, she actually has advocated for it. Notably Stellar Blade, which, again, is something I cover in this video over here. To goon or not to goon, that is the question. Melanie Mack exposes herself as a hypocrite. And, essentially, Stellar Blade was significantly worse than this game. And, she's claiming that, people who play this game, Ascendant 1, that they're basically, just these horrible degenerates. Now, the big issue here is she was running a massive defense for Stellar Blade, saying, oh, all these people who are wanting to change the outfits, they're horrible, evil people, what's so wrong about, beautiful women wearing these outfits? These are just outfits you'd see a woman wearing at the beach. Those were all direct quotes from her. And, again, this is actually something you'd also see women wearing at the beach, except for, it'd be even more revealing. And not only was she going to play Stellar Blade herself, but she was also encouraging her audience to buy it. So here she's making a very broad definition of what counts as a degenerate game. And by her definition, then, Stellar Blade certainly fits the bill. So she was basically telling people to consume and partake in degeneracy. So, again, Melanie Mack has made a complete 180 here. Now, I think that something Melanie Mack should have done before making all those videos, let's pretend that she was being insincere then. Let's say that she actually always has like this middle-aged woman attitude of, anytime she sees a woman wearing, a swimsuit or something, she goes, no, that's bad. Well, if that's the case, then she shouldn't have made those videos defending Stellar Blade. And I also think that she should take a quick moment to listen to Eric July.
Make the content, don't let the content make you. Let me explain this advice that I believe applies universally. It is very easy to get trapped into only thinking about the short term. With social media and its algorithms, you'll see that people tend to gravitate towards what's the in thing and what's trendy. For views and streams for the short term, that instant gratification can be tempting. But what can happen is that you end up having to commit to content that you're not actually interested in creating. Even if you do successfully ride that wave, the audience you cultivate will be expecting that content, and it can be very difficult to successfully pivot from it. And just like a creator can, they too may only be into it because it's trendy. It's a chance they can become bored of it in the medium to long term. Worse, you can be stuck in the box creating something that you have no passion for or you're uninterested in. It's exhausting to be someone that you're not. If you wonder why some big creators have to take extended breaks frequently, it's because putting on a front for countless hours is tiresome and mentally draining.
Now, Eric July gave her some very important advice that I think she should be listening to. She shouldn't be making content about things she doesn't believe and feel, because she will attract an audience that has very different values from hers. And, these people will end up basically finding out who she actually is one day, and they'll realize that she's, not very honest, she's a little disingenuous, and that she's a hypocrite, and they'll end up leaving. So either she was being hypocritical with her coverage of Stellar Blade, or she's being a hypocrite now. I actually lean more on the side of right now she's being a hypocrite. And let me explain my reasoning for that. When somebody truly has been touched by, the mercy of God, and you see this, change in them, one of the things that happens is they end up basically becoming allergic to evil. Any time there's something that's, ungodly, they'll basically, kind of have like an allergic reaction to it because, they're filled with the Holy Spirit, right? Now, aside from running defense for Stellar Blade, she's actually been running defense for a lot of really horrible things. Let me introduce you guys really quickly to the lovely ladies who are the editors at Eric July's comic book company. So they're named Jen and Sylvia Soska. Now, supposedly they have some experience in the film industry. If you look at Eric July's website, he talks about how they come from horror films. Now, whether that was to be spelled with an H or a W, I'm not 100% sure. But in case you're wondering what, those types of films entailed, it was literally satanic, incestuous vomit pornography. And I know a lot of people go, oh, it's a movie, bro. It's a movie, bro. Jen and Sylvia Soska are like Mother Teresa. They're like nuns. They're just like two sweet little Catholic girls. Yeah, look at this comic book that they made. Speaking of Catholicism, are any of you guys Catholics? Look at this comic book that they made, and they were promoting it in 2023. And look at this other movie they were promoting in 2023 too, here with Jen and Sylvia. Do you see what's on her back? Yeah, very, very Christian, huh? If you would like to learn more about their escapades with Lucifer Valentine, the director of their incestuous satanic vomit, you can watch this video over here, Isom versus Isom. Now again, a lot of you guys might not have the stomach for that kind of stuff, but this is what you're defending when you defend Eric July and the Rippaverse. In fact, Melanie Mac has gone as far as to smear the people who've tried exposing this, calling them cancel pigs.
What Matters says, hi, Jeremy, excellent show. I wanted to ask, will you retract your statements on Ethan Van Sciver and Shane Davies calling them cancel pigs against Eric July? No, I won't. They are cancel pigs.
They are, and it's ridiculous. And you know what I was thinking, seeing all that stuff? I normally don't like getting into whatever personal drama, but I don't give a crap when it comes to this kind of thing. And you know how when there's a bunch of girls, like sometimes they'll hate on the prettiest girl for no reason.
I know what that's like, yeah.
And I think for guys, this is one of those equivalents, is that if some guy's really successful, then the other guys act like a bunch of little girls and get mad at him for no reason. And that's what happened with Eric July.
Now you might be saying, well, JJ, maybe they've changed. Is this really going to affect their current work? Well, look at the recent comic book, Yaira 2, which Eric is, promoting now. Definitely by Melanie Mack's definition, this is straight up pornography, as she calls it, right? just look at these images he's using to promote it. Is she going to call that out? Well, someone might say, well, JJ, nobody's brought this to our attention. Actually, I did. And you see, I made this Twitter post right here and asked if she would comment on it. Now, some of you might say, hey, well, that says Ethan Van Sciver, not Eric July. And that's right. I did tag the wrong person, and I did do that on purpose. I was curious to see if, she would call it out, coming from Ethan, somebody she's clearly stated she doesn't like, but she didn't comment on it. So she does know this exists, and I'm assuming she also probably does know that Eric is the one who made it. Is she going to say anything on the subject? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, or...
You are a hoe ass